Oh, hello there. Welcome. I see you've survived CastleMania, as have we. Nice try, Internet! We live yet again. Another theme month survived. These
Barely.
people, their insatiable lust for videos has not crushed us yet. That's what Bomberman will do.
Oh no, I don't know. Can we get KZ in or something?
Bob's like, can I just tag out? I'll go to Texas and do his thing. He can come here and do this. We unfortunately, before the ritual of the themed month can end, we have to rank all of these games.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's done. Look at that. It's
You're right.
all
Castlevania 1 for the Famicom Disk System is the best version and the best game. I like the part where you can save.
They're all up there in a list.
For some reason.
That's something that was definitely useful.
We used it a lot on our playthrough.
Yeah, of course. Why wouldn't we?
So, you know, we have to rank all these games based on our experiences in our life and in CastleMania. So some of them, maybe we won't have the most comprehensive knowledge in the world.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and say that one is probably the PS4 version specifically of Symphony of the Night. Because I have not played until I got Maria on that version. Have you?
No, I haven't done anything in that version.
I haven't measured the input lag of the Symphony of the Night version on PS4. I'm starting to think maybe we should remove that.
Yeah,
but it is the PSP one as well.
Yeah, it's the PSP one. We could just pretend it's just that.
Besides, I think once we get to the part of the list where it's Symphony, we just do ourselves a favor and put all three of them next to each other and just rank them there.
I guess.
Even though really,
the one
Maria
with the weird,
could be so much better in one of them.
One of the weird new dub was probably just like, oh no, that takes it down even another point.
Oh God, you're right. Okay, never mind. We can't do that. We've made our lives that much harder.
Right?
So we have to establish a bottom.
Okay, you're gonna start with the bottom one?
That's usually the easiest way to go.
Okay.
That's how we kind of did it last time. So I'm just gonna throw some names down here, and we can readjust it from there. Okay. Here we go. Getting this done. Look at that.
Man, yeah, we're already filling up these slots, guys.
I feel like we're doing all right so far, Bob. What is there any other game that leaps to your mind that should be down there? How about Castlevania The Adventure 1?
The Adventure 1, Castlevania 64.
Oof, I feel like, it's bad to put it down there near those.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we hold off on 64.
Okay, you know what? We'll do this.
Okay,
we'll do that.
Give ourselves
Give it a little buffer room. Is Legends better or
is
worse?
really bad.
Okay, so it's worse than 64.
Yeah, it's worse than 64.
But it's better than The Adventure 1.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that I can live with that.
Okay, now I'm looking at the rest of this list. I feel like the other one that approaches is Dracula X.
I don't think it's anywhere near those, but sure.
I think it's at the bottom, but I don't know if it's above or below 64. It's heinous enemy placement. It's anus. I went AVGN, but very calm tone.
Yeah, I was like, what? Okay.
It sucks buffalo shit. That's all I'm saying. I feel like that's a fair criticism, and my detractors are all poor. Take a
page out of Field's book.
Take a page out of Field's playbook. I feel like we put it right here. We can figure that out.
We'll figure that out later.
Legacy of Darkness clearly has to be somewhere.
Yeah, it's better than those. Or it's better than 64. We know that much.
At bare minimum, we know that. Okay. I think we're starting to see something here.
There's...
Haunted Castle definitely belongs down there.
Yeah, no, it is trash. Especially if we were like, the US version.
Yeah,
then it bottoms out.
We're gonna, you know what? I'm gonna make this clear. USA.
Oh no. Oh my God. If we're doing that, I'd probably put it below everything. Yeah. That thing was busted.
Okay, then to make it more interesting, let's make it the Japanese version,
one. Okay.
Since that's what we played through. Keep
in
mind, in the course of playing that game, we must have used at least $40.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's still bad. It's just not the insanity that is the US version.
Right.
I
think
the other really bad... YY World 2 is boring. but I don't know if it's bad.
I don't think it does. It does not place next to any of those.
Yeah.
Except for maybe Adventure, Rebirth, and Judgment. But how about this? Let's focus on arranging these bottom 9.
Bottom 9. Okay, sure.
It is 9. I don't know. 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 10. Okay. We'll arrange these bottom 10.
Okay.
Let's see. So, CastleMaynia's excellent.
That is one of the worst flying shooters I've ever played.
Same. And it may be a worse flying shooter than Judgment is a fighting game.
Right? Like it's a high order, but I think it does that. I think we can do that.
We can put that below Judgment. Is Judgment better than the Adventure Rebirth? Let me put it this way. How about this? This is gonna be easier if I do this real quick, and I think you'll agree with this movement. We're gonna say we're gonna take the Adventure. Put it right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is it worse than CastleMaynia's excellent?
I don't think so. You know?
That's weird because I agree, but like when you work it down as a checklist, it's like CastleMaynia's runs at 60 frames per second.
Kind of.
Mostly ish.
No.
Okay.
Let me introduce you to level 2.
More so than the Adventure.
Yes.
Yes.
It
doesn't have screen tearing.
I guess it doesn't.
It doesn't. That 2D animated intros.
Yeah, the anime intro is
good
great.
/ terrible.
Yeah.
Is enjoyable, ironically or otherwise. So, I don't know. What are your thoughts on these bottom 2?
I feel like Adventure Original edges it out slightly because it feels more like a video game, even though part of it, the beginning level has that thing where you make perfect jumps all in a row, and then the rest of the game is just trash.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It really is, and like I trained on that game in order to get it done in that video. There's a chance that video would have been longer than the Adventure 2.
I'm still gonna say it's better than CastleMaynia's though, because
here's a good sign. I beat that game.
Right?
And when I beat it, I felt like I got something out of that experience. There's nothing in CastleMaynia's excellent that makes me think, I need to try to beat this.
No.
Yeah, no.
Not even for a second.
Not even for a second.
So yeah, Adventure beats that.
The Adventure slightly better. Okay. Is Judgment better or worse than the Adventure Rebirth? We're asking the hard questions.
Probably. I don't know.
I just asked if it was above or below, and you said probably.
I know.
It's probably better?
It's probably better, but...
It is something unique unto itself, and I appreciate that.
Right, like that's something.
Right. It's anything.
Whereas Adventure Rebirth is just an overly difficult, poorly designed, weird mess of a game.
That looks cheap, and sounds cheap, and is nothing but remixed music. Whereas Judgment, I feel like, has added to the tapestry of Castlevania games, but is also fucking garbage.
Right, it's like the worst of a fighting game. Like, this is...
I don't think anyone's pretending the bottom 4 here that any one of them has escaped the black hole of you should never play these.
Yeah.
Now, which one's better, Harmony of Despair or Judgment?
Probably a Harmony of Despair. That's my gut feeling. Harmony of Despair is like a deceptive nonsense game.
Yeah.
That wants you to put out hours and hours into grinding it.
It's like the most fucked up version of Monster Hunter or Destiny that has ever existed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do enough to justify that, but at the same time, there is a palpable enjoyability to some of the characters.
Yeah. I mean,
others are fucking
like,
gone.
At least moving your character around and hitting stuff can feel enjoyable at moments.
True.
I don't know if I can say that about anything in Judgment.
And honestly, the soundtrack in Harmony of Despair is just better than Judgment.
Okay.
And the Adventure Rebirth, in my opinion.
Everything about it is so much nonsense, but yeah.
I think we're onto something, though. I think that's right.
Okay.
I think so. Because while it may feel like you're running on the spinny wheelie gerbil thing of life while you play Harmony of Despair, at the end of the day, you can hang out with your friends Dr. Aggro and Jim Ratgazer and play it, and have a somewhat enjoyable time. Whereas Judgment, there's no way I could have convinced those motherfuckers to hold that controller for that long with Judgment.
No.
Okay, so next we've got Legends. Is Legends better or worse than Harmony of Despair? I posit it's worse.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Right? Like, I'm like, Legends is the one of the most brain dead ones we played all month. It had an invincibility button.
Yeah, and Infinite continues.
Infinite continues. Which I'm always okay with infinite continues in these games. It just feels annoying when you don't. But the continue started you like really close, didn't it?
Yeah, it starts at the checkpoint.
It starts at the checkpoint, yeah.
And that's the problem. Like, they have no sense of difficulty curve.
Right.
And the boss every time was just use your burning mode. You're invincible now. Wail on its face like a dumb idiot.
Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah, like it's worse than Harmony.
Okay, I agree. Here's where I think the real shakeup's gonna happen. Haunted Castle has to be worse than Harmony of Despair.
Yeah, probably.
Now,
it might be worse than Legends.
It might.
I think I want to say it's worse than Legends
because it had very specific drops for when you would pick up swords.
You just literally lose your power up for no reason.
Right. And of course the fact that I had to throw in about, what was it, $3-4 each time I did a new life in order to fill my life bar in order to have a decent chance.
Yeah, because it had that weirdo system where you put money in to get more health.
To extend your health bar to be a decent length.
And then there was that part we got to where it just became
impossible
nonsense.
to go without doing that.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Haunted Castle's probably worse, even though
it might be worse than Adventure Reverse.
Oh shit.
That's
yeah. I mean, when you look at this,
like I'd rather play the Adventure 1. That feels more like a real game.
Oh God, you're right. I need a moment.
It's not like it feels good to play either. Like, it's not more moment to moment enjoyable. It runs better than Adventure 1.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really bad. You know, other than that, I'm trying to think of other positives where it's got that really weird intro.
I know. I love the really weird intro of Haunted Castle. It is fantastic, and it's much better than anything in the adventure, like cutscene wise or productions, assets wise.
Right.
And something about the way your sprites look and going to your mind Egypt in the third level, was really weird and interesting.
Yeah, it did have weird, interesting stuff, but also had platforms that didn't even, like, all the art of the background was really confusing.
It's true. So what's worse, that or the perfect jumps on level 1 and the infinite spike wall that is all of level 3 and the you better know how to damage boost through these enemies very specifically at the last level because it stuck 4 of that mini boss in the same hallway. Because as I said, I trained in order to get to the point where I could...
Right. No, I get that, but I feel like no matter how much you train on Haunted Castle, like, it's just incredibly cheap.
Haunted Castle? Yeah, I agree.
Like, that even...
So you're saying
you can learn the adventure.
You're saying this. All of these are above Haunted Castle.
Yes, I am saying
That's fucking hilarious that Haunted Castle's hanging out with... You know what? We'll do it for now. We'll, at very least for now, we'll put that there. Bob, let's take a moment.
Okay.
If I told you before we started this list that Harmony of Despair wouldn't even be in the bottom 5 of games this month, would you have been like, well, of course?
No, I probably would have fought you on it.
Same, because it's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
It's not like this is Sonic, Sonic as a franchise has a ton of really bad games, so even that one you hate immensely could be like 10th from the bottom.
Right. Man, now I'm just looking at this like, I don't think anything else is going to go below Harmony of Despair.
I agree.
I
agree.
Because Legends
64 offers a thing.
Is really uniquely bad.
Yes. So. And Malice is a really Kino twist that we did not spoil in the video.
Okay.
But we could spoil now. That kid's fucking Dracula.
Yeah.
That's cool as shit.
Right? That's cool. It was a neat reveal.
That is a really neat reveal. It tried to have a day and night time system.
Yeah, it had a lot of interesting ideas in it. It's a great tech demo.
It is a great tech demo.
Unfortunately, it had one of those ideas was nitroglycerin.
I'm gonna beat that game by the end of this year.
Okay.
I promised myself that.
I mean,
because unfortunately, we didn't have the time for it.
Right? Is it Avenging Your Youth stream or something?
Yeah. Because I've never played even more than an hour of that game, really. I never had a memory pack that worked, which is another reason why we couldn't do it this month.
Right.
Also, choosing between Port to Ruin and that, like, come on, man.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so is the list Castlevania 64, XX, and Legacy of Darkness in that order?
Is XX better than 64?
I thought you were gonna say Legacy. Like, I thought you were making the argument it should be higher. You're now asking if it should be lower.
Right, like, we can all agree it's probably one of the roughest classic Vanias.
It is the rough, like, I'm pretty sure it's the roughest outside of Legends.
Yeah, like all those ones we already have down there.
Someone out there's having a conniption that we put Legends above Rebirth. I think they might be onto something.
Yeah, Legends of Rebirth?
Yeah, I'm thinking at bare minimum this should be worse than Judgment.
I mean, it is so cheesecake.
Yeah, and it basically has nothing but bad ideas.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. Judgment is also that.
Right? Like,
that's the complication here, right?
Judgment's so hard because, like, you had a neat idea, but everything was wrong.
Yeah,
you did every single choice wrong.
I feel like if you had a single story mode that was across all the characters, and it just was one linear set of events, not even like I'm not asking for an over-the-top, like, do a Mortal Kombat X thing, you know, I'm not asking for that. But if you had, like, okay, you play as this character, they discover this, the fight ends, and then something happens, and then you move over to this character, you know, it doesn't need to be super masterful. But one good story mode would do something for me, whereas the currently existing structure of the story mode sucks, where it's like, beat it as every character and then beat it 2 more times. It's not great.
No.
At the same time, I would think I would revisit Judgment ever again before I die.
Yeah.
Legends, I wouldn't.
I guess there's that.
Now that Legends is beaten, fuck it. It's uneventful, it's uninteresting.
Yeah, it is so.
I feel
nothing.
I feel like Legends may belong below Rebirth, Adventure Rebirth.
Maybe.
I feel like I'm interested in revisiting Adventure Rebirth.
Like,
they're both bad in a lot of similar ways.
Right. Yeah, I'm okay with moving it down there. Yeah. Okay. I think that makes sense.
We'll at least do it for now. Let me move this out of the way. Move these 2 up. Okay. So now we're back to here.
Okay.
So I like these 2 being next to each other. In fact, these 3, it really says something.
Yeah.
Because that's the end of Castlevania right there.
The end of Castlevania has really ended on a great note. Thanks, Konami.
I like M2 coming in at 34 and 38th place. Thanks, M2. You know, their work on the Anniversary Collection is really good, though. Yeah. You know, they implemented the one change I always wanted in Castlevania 1 for it to make a random shrieking sound in my ear every few seconds.
That's something was really missing, you know?
It definitely didn't have that before, and it does now. So yes, it was missing that.
Yeah, I'm like, at least 64 and Legacy of Darkness are something interesting. Dracula X is literally just one game, but worse. A game that's already out there and great. I really like the fires, though. The fire
in a lot of the tracks are really good.
Yeah, the music is really good. It's better than anything in 64.
It's better than anything up here.
Yeah.
Though Haunted Castle has some bangers. It's got like 2.
Okay.
It's got Julius's theme, Heart of Fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Yeah, it's the intro song for that video.
Great song.
Because it's a great song. They used it for Julius. That's how good it is. They used it for Best Belmont. That's why this is hard.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Because as you said, it's an asset flip game.
Mm-hmm. It's like Walkman and Forte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. But everyone brace yourselves. Take a second to feel this through as I say it. But worse.
No.
Rockman and Forte has any original bosses.
That's true.
Rockman and Forte has any original songs, and they're good. Well,
doesn't this have original songs and bosses?
it has like 2 original songs. The entire rest of the soundtrack's just covers of the PC Engine version.
Okay. There are new bosses, but they're kind of lame.
Yeah, the new bosses are like, here's a way less cool werewolf. It's nowhere near as cool.
Here's bats that fly at you in weird
God,
patterns.
the bats suck. God, the bats suck. God. No, it's cool. See, it makes a sine wave so you can dodge it. That's not how that works. It would be dodgeable if it was only one bat moving in a sine wave. Instead, you've covered a set gap.
Right.
I'm not saying you can't get through that boss fight without taking damage. Of course you can do that. I know Shadow Surge exists. But yeah, fuck the bosses in that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to rely. See, I've played through Dracula XX multiple times.
Right.
It makes me feverishly pissed.
Right. But I know that in those 64 and Legacy Darkness games, it's absurdly upsetting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem here. I haven't gone all the way through 64 to know the depths of its absurdity. But here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
One of these is an asset flip.
Yeah.
Admittedly, Legacy Darkness also kind of an asset flip. But it's the polished, fixed version of Castlevania 64.
Right.
It is a much improved frame rate. At bare minimum. And the new character they added is fucking awesome. And
has a
way
story.
better than the other 2.
Yes. Carrie's great. I don't know what you're talking about.
She's all right, but she's nowhere near as good as him. Like, he just works better.
Yeah.
And his ass is better. There, I said.
We're in a dress, we just don't know. So, okay. I'd be willing to move that Dracula XX below these 64 titles. Just because they're more unique. They offer something different.
Sorry, I got distracted by my phone going off. You said 64 over Dracula XX?
Yeah, I'd be okay with that, just because they're unique games. It's nothing quite like the 64 games.
At the same time, though, like, the hard thing is I'm comparing the beginning of 64 and the beginning of Dracula XX.
Uh-huh.
For those who don't know, Dracula XX is the name of the Super NES game in Japan. Figured I would say that because in America, it is literally called Castlevania, Dracula X in most listings.
Okay.
And if not in all listings, then it's still just called Dracula X, not
right, just one
XX.
X.
The beginning of Dracula XX is a lot more tolerable than the beginning of Castlevania 64. The beginning of Castlevania 64 seems like a fucking vacuous mess.
Yes.
Like, there's
I know what to do, but that's only because I've lived it.
Many times. Bob has lived 1,000 lives and died 1,000 times in Castlevania 64. So that's the problem, right? I'm comparing that, where the beginning of Dracula XX is really strong.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that cool fire effect.
Plays the good music.
Yeah, it plays great music. Some of the
Yeah.
best in the series. And then it just... like, once you get past that weird underground cave fight with the necromancer or sorcerer or whatever, it is just gone. The game's just garbage in Dracula XX. So, I don't know. What's your call? I'll go with what your call is.
Because Dracula X, I don't have that level of just absurd hatred for it
Yeah.
that you do from having beaten it. But
That last battle sucks so bad.
yeah, oh, it's bad. I'll go ahead and let's leave it like this, but for now, for 64 above XX. Even though that intro was really strong for XX.
And really, really weak for 64.
Right.
So there. That's what we've got for the bottom so far. I'm just gonna read.
Right. I can't believe that 64 like
Is not in the bottom 5.
I mean, not just that, but it's just it gets stronger later on. Like,
Yes.
it has those cutscenes once you get into the manor where you have to worry about time changes and bloody roses.
The entire game appears an hour in.
Right.
Or if you're really fast, like 20, 30 minutes. Shut the fuck up, everyone. I know. But it's absurd.
Yeah. The 3D platforming is so bad, though.
It really is, which is why I'm like, I may put it below Dracula X just because the 3D platforming is so bad. And it runs so bad.
Yeah.
But, okay, we'll leave it like that.
We'll do that for now, yeah.
Where does Super Bomberman R go? Now, in my opinion, my professional opinion, I think it's safe to put it right there.
We're rating just Simon Belmont Bomber?
Well, keep in mind, Simon Belmont Bomber and Dracula Bomber and Alucard Bomber.
Yes, all 3 of them are in there. They're great. I don't know.
I think that's a solid Bomberman game, especially on non-Switch platforms where it's less blurry. But, they've done a lot to improve the game.
Yeah, no,
they added Belmonts.
It's a good Bomberman game. I feel weird like ranking us all of these now that I think about it a lot.
What? No, this is science. That's what this is.
Because for me, I'm like, no, it's still Bomberman. It's gonna lose out to any good Castlevania game.
Yeah, we haven't hit those yet.
No, we haven't.
That's why I put it above all this shit.
Right.
The single-player Super Bomberman R is drastically better than Judgment.
Yeah, okay.
There are funny cutscenes. Black Bomber is an amazing, beautiful man. He's a beautiful Black Bomber. I think I'm gonna put that right there.
Sure, we can leave it there.
Let's go ahead and just go straight into spin-offs because I feel like that's how the rest of this list will go from here. Okay.
That makes sense.
So I'm gonna throw.
You want YY World?
I'm gonna just throw it over here, right? Okay. I'm gonna line them up.
Get all the spin-offs out there.
Yeah.
X.
Because I don't think any.
So bad.
It really is. I was hoping you would hold that punch for a little bit longer so I could get it out here and pretend for a second.
Get the Fountain, I feel like goes way higher than all these other spin-offs.
Well, no shit. That's why I'm not even grabbing it yet.
Okay.
I'm not noticing Kid Dracula for the NES.
It's a 4 up from where you are.
Okay. So, I'll go ahead and throw that over here. The NES. And then
the Game Boy.
And then the Game Boy lower. Because even though it has better production values, I feel like we're going to place it lower because it runs really slow and it doesn't feel as tight.
Yeah.
The graphics
Which already the game didn't feel tight.
Right. In fact, the number one thing we came out of that fucking thing saying was, hey, it would be great if this was on a platform that could run it better. And where did they put it? The only platform it couldn't run better.
Right.
They couldn't put it on the Game Gear.
No. Never. That song's still really loud.
I'm gonna turn that down just in case that's picking up on the mic. Man, you know the nice thing about this new camera, other than we're being filmed in stunning 4K DCI resolution, which is 4096 by some other number, you assholes. It's got that red marker to let us know it's recording.
That's always nice.
You know how many times we went to our old camera and it was like, oh, the power turned off.
Oh,
we couldn't even tell from the front. Right. Oh, we ran out of space. All sorts of issues. Now we have the red light that you can see perfectly fine, and I have to do this to check.
Right. That's fine. That's fine.
It's very helpful. Some motherfucker out there is expecting me to throw Curse of Darkness down here with these tools.
Castlevania 2, I feel like, needs to be down there.
It's probably below Super Bomberman R.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
it goes in that region of not good Castlevania games.
Okay, let's figure this out. Okay. It's better than CastleMaynia's Excellent.
Yes.
It's better than Haunted Castle. It is.
Yes.
It is. It's better than the adventure on Game Boy. See, we're starting to hit the resistance point.
Right, it runs better. It's a bad idea.
It's got way better music.
It's got okay. Yeah, sure. We'll put it better than Adventure 1. Now, is it better than Legends?
Fuck no.
Okay. All right.
But that's the problem. Legends has trash tier music.
It does. Some of the songs.
The first song's good.
Yeah. It was like I thought
everything
it was like
else
every
is
other
kinda...
song was okay. It's just one song was absurdly bad.
Yeah, but none of them hit bloody tears.
No.
Castlevania 2 has bloody tears.
Right.
And honestly, most of the music in it is quite good. Like, better down, better down, down.
I thought you were going to the Full House theme.
Yeah, I invented that.
Yeah.
You're fucking welcome. So, okay, we're finding some difficulty. Look, Castlevania the Adventure, I get it. It's a classic Vania with a traditional structure.
All right.
And so it's not as heinous on that end.
Right.
As Castlevania 2, but merely engaging with the game, you can instantly recognize Castlevania 2 is much better. You gain levels from killing enemies. The game runs smooth. You get items and powers that increase your abilities over time. This is a good loop. It feels good.
Okay.
And when you die completely, you get to start in the same area, but you don't start with all your hearts and experience. You start with the same level, you know.
Don't have,
but you don't have like the extra experience you had in between the two levels, kind of like Zelda 2.
Right. It does have the nonsense of showing holy water every single pixel.
That really only is a problem with like the very first one.
Why would they front load the game with that?
I don't know. I think it may have happened once after that, but that's it. Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. But
okay,
I feel like it's better than the Adventure.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I can't figure out Legends. It's hard. It's really hard because its music's way better than Legends.
Music's better than Legends.
And
do you have to wait? It doesn't even have boss fights, right? It was like, well, maybe the boss fights in Legends are so bad that they make it worse than
no,
2.
because they're boss fights.
Right, there
like
are boss fights.
Yeah.
Whereas 2 doesn't have any.
So what we're talking about? What we're talking about is right here.
Yeah.
Castlevania 2, down here with the Adventure Haunted Castle and CastleMaynia's. Excellent.
Castlevania 2 is pretty heinous when you look at it like that.
Yeah. I'm gonna cheat and just move this shit down. See, we've made space now. Now, Super Bomberman R, I still feel is better than any of these games.
That's fair. I believe that.
I think Legacy of Darkness may be a bit iffy. I have to play that whole game. But the amount of cool costumes and like they fucking have a Solid Snake and Naked Snake Bomber, and they sound like David Hayter.
Oh man, we need to see if Raiden has him going crazy.
Oh fuck, is it?
Yeah.
We should have checked that.
Should have checked that.
But I ran out of money.
Right? How dare they limit our money?
And how unreasonable that I get so much of that money from just playing the game.
How
unreasonable. In fact, if you noticed, I got 150 gold every match we did. You only need 1,000 for a bomber, Bob.
Oh my god. We have to boot that up later.
Yeah.
But for now, Konami YY World too.
Okay, I think these two are very easily the bottom of this set.
Yeah, Dream Mix TV World Fighters was terrible. I feel like it might go right above Judgment.
You're right. Obviously, it doesn't go above fucking Bomberman R or 64 or Legacy of Darkness or even Dracula XX or Harmony. Like, that would be absurd. Who would sit there and be like, Harmony of Despair? Now I'm like, is Harmony of Despair better than Dracula XX? But one moment. That's not the focus right now. The focus right now is Dream Mix. Okay, which one, Bob? If I gave you a chance right now, this sir who has played 30 minutes of each of these games and has a deep understanding of each of them from watching another person play it, would you rather play Judgment or Dream Mix TV World Fight?
Oh no, I might rather play Judgment.
That's rough.
Oh no.
That's the T, sis.
Dream Mix.
Dream Mix is really bad.
Yeah.
The only reason I ever want to go back is to play the Big Show level.
Right? I don't... Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's such a cheap Smash Bros. Knockoff.
And it feels awful.
In a bad way.
And mechanically, it doesn't feel great. It feels worse than PlayStation All-Stars, which is an insane sentence.
Right.
Because PlayStation All-Stars may be fine to engage with, but the structure of the gameplay is only slightly less bad than DreamX TV.
They are the same exact tier of bad, honestly. Like, they're the same idea of, no, this was wrong.
Here's the thing. Okay, right?
Uh-huh.
In DreamX TV, maybe we should add PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale to this list. I feel like we should do that.
There's no Castlevania character in it, Dan.
I would rather play PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale than Castlevania Judgment. I would rather do that.
I can't even say that.
I can say that. You know why?
Why?
Because you get 3 specials as each character, and they're hilarious, like homages to their games. And some of that shit's just broken. Like the part where Zeus goes and wins.
I always think of freaking Parappa just skateboarding around murdering people.
And saying like nonstop Parappa phrases.
Yeah.
I always think of Nathan Drake breaking in that intro to that online match going, yeah, 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 oh yeah. It just looped like 30 times.
It was great.
I think it's great the TV decided now it was a good time to brighten up, thus probably ruining the exposure of the shot, but it'll be fine, I guess.
Fine. I think it's dim during this whole thing too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no, it was dim before we.
Before? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I really have no idea why it did this.
So yeah, DreamX.
DreamX is
It's
worse than Judgment.
Yeah.
But better than Adventure Reap? No. It's better than... Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I don't know.
Uh-oh. I think I'd rather play Castlevania 2 than DreamX TV World Fighters, Bob.
Yeah. I mean, when it's just a Smash Bros. Knockoff with some weirdo characters.
But it feels awful to play.
I know, like that's
Each character has like a special move or two, and their animations are joyless and don't match the character style at all.
Right,
Look,
like
think
the way you
think
whip,
of how the whip looks.
looks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, okay. Put it below 2.
Okay, but we're not gonna put it below the adventure.
Or Otoadeus.
I like how Haunted Castle's blatant microtransactions is why we put it so low.
Right.
How delightful is that? We're punishing that.
Now I'm just like, oh no, what if it is as bad as No, it's not as bad
No.
as Otoadeus.
No.
Like that's the most incompetently made flying shooter I've seen.
Dude. Cho Anarchy is a vastly better game.
Yeah,
and it is literally called a Kuso game.
Right.
Kuso means shit or crap. Not sure if you know.
I even kind of like the waifu designs. I think that's fine. But God, that's such a bad game around them.
I disagree with Bob. I think Hanafuma is the only okay waifu design in there, and everyone else is trash.
Look, she does a lot.
It's really the belly face with the belt buckle she has, kind of like. Yeah, she's got like a Jinpachi / Simon from Mirror of Fate fucking face buckle thing going on.
She's got that demon belt.
It's cool.
Yeah.
This is, of course, me still talking about the Getsufuma Den character in that. Okay, Bob. Let's talk about the rest of this list. Konami YY World. Probably not as good as... I'm confident in saying it's not as good as Bomberman R.
Right, yeah.
But it's really interesting to travel to these, because you had the whole branching path thing, and you get to travel to the different worlds like RPG World and other places. And as you go along in that game, you get to choose more and more different, like Twinbee or other areas to visit.
The Twinbee one was really weird. Like that was.
It was weird, and it changed the gameplay completely.
It did, which is cool. But then it played so poorly. Like you moved like molasses.
And yet, and you know what I'm gonna say. It felt better than Otomania's.
Yes!
That's insane, ladies and gentlemen. Otomania's was a $60 game in 2011. Okay, so all we've confirmed at this point is that it's somewhere between this and the lowest thing on our list.
Yes. Let's see.
Here, we're gonna go down up, because that's way easier.
Okay. I was gonna say, I would probably say it's better than Dracula XX. I feel like we can just sit there. Okay, well let's work out.
Haunted Castle. Of course,
Yes,
I'd rather play
yes.
YY World 2. I don't want to lose $40 on a game I hate by the end of it. Dracula becoming a giant face of Dracula and melting is pretty funny in Haunted Castle. The part where he just comes in from the side of the screen as a giant face and you whip him until his face just goes. Bleh. That's hilarious. Bob's been through a lot this month, ladies and gentlemen. Please be easy on him.
Are you talking about the thing near the beginning? Or?
No, the very end of Haunted Castle.
Did we
You
get all
kill-
the way to the end?
He's been through a lot this month, ladies and gentlemen.
I lost
please,
my mind.
Please, no bully. That's okay. It took you a whole month to forget. KZ, it just takes one podcast. I love you, KZ. You know, I'm kidding.
So, but the adventure. It's gotta be
Yes.
better than adventure.
Yes.
Better than Dream Mix. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. Better than Castlevania 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Better than Legends.
Yes.
Yes.
Adventure Rebirth is where it starts getting weird.
I didn't get my hands on this game myself much.
Oh, yeah, that's
Because that was you and Aggro.
a lot of it, yeah.
So I was just watching. But what I was watching looked a lot more interesting than Adventure Rebirth.
I mean, it seems like a joyous celebration of their IPs.
Right.
Adventure Rebirth feels like really... I know, people disagree with my judgment here. It seems like an unpolished, cheap cash-in game.
Yeah. No, it feels like something
it's-
you'd release on a phone.
It's literally a part of a series that is exactly that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm willing to put it above Adventure Rebirth.
And Judgment.
Yeah, I guess. Because Judgment's just such a bad fighting game. Like, I'm trying to think of it. Like,
I mean, Konami YY World had really good graphics. It had a nice art style for all the sprites. It had branching paths. Like,
But Dan, did it have lights from Death Note? I should have worn Death Note socks.
and then put up your feet.
Yeah, I'm constantly putting my feet up.
That'd be funny as shit. That'd be funny as shit. Yeah, I think YY World 2 is better than Judgment, but I think it stops there.
You think so?
I think Harmony of Despair is a mildly better game.
Again, I didn't get the hands on with this one.
It's a really solid platformer.
Yeah, so if it is, I feel like it should go above Harmony. Just 'cause
Well,
Harmony's-
mechanically, Harmony's fine. That's the problem here.
right, but the
It's-
structure
well,
is so bad.
It's mechanically fine in the moment, in the gameplay loop.
yeah.
Larger structure, that's where it gets really fucked. Like, you remember how people went to, what did they call it? Loot Cave? Because it's, yeah.
Yes.
In Destiny, they went to Loot Cave because they couldn't figure out how to make Destiny reward them.
Right.
That's the entirety of Harmony of Despair.
Right. You never know if you do what you do is right. At all.
Like, they don't give you any idea what's in what level, and you just need to look up a strategy guide because that's a brilliant way to design your motherfucking video game.
It's not like it's just not done or something. That'd be weird.
So, what are we saying? Are we saying it's better? You think it's better?
I think it's better than Harmony.
Okay, you're right.
But that's probably where it stops.
I think you're right. I think that's where it stops. V. I hit Control C. The more you know. Now let's figure this out.
YY World 2.
Also, that is not
our
correct.
one.
That is.
Bam.
I labeled it that as a joke, and I got fucking blown up in the Discord by 2 or 3 people who are like, Dan, it's FC for Famicom. And I'm like, yeah, I saw how the world came short of my expectations.
I just wanted it to be fam.
I improved it.
I thought that Konami was fam, okay?
No, I don't know. YY World 1. Let's talk about it. Holy shit, that game is hard.
That game is very hard in an unbalanced way, but it's really neat to be able to go to all those different levels in any order.
Yes. And I
And you
really
actually
do want to go back and beat that one.
Right, Konami Man and Konami Lady are...
Incredible.
Yeah, great. Great
They
characters.
need to come back more.
Was she just Konami Lady or was it something else Lady?
It was Konami Lady.
Okay. Yeah, both of them really good.
It's not as good as Bomberman are.
Yeah. I'm like, I might rank it above XX, Dracula XX, just because it's so weird.
It offers more to the world
Yes.
than Dracula XX.
I mean, I'd probably rather go back and play it than Legacy of Darkness and Castlevania 64, but they're only that high because they're interesting.
Right. So what we're saying is it goes above Legacy of Darkness, and we just...
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe it goes between Legacy of Darkness and 64. It's like right in the thing.
I don't think that's fair, just because Konami YY World is a very hard game, but it's well designed and it feels polished to play.
Okay. Sure.
So we'll go ahead and put it above Legacy of Darkness, and everyone watching this is screaming.
Yes. Of course.
Like always.
That's how these streams are. That's how it was for. If you're watching this live, feel free to donate.
Yeah, we should point out, if you've enjoyed CastleMania so far, feel free to use the super chat to donate. We definitely appreciate it. This will be the only stream that goes up today because it's my birthday and I just want to go see fucking Detective Pikachu. I haven't been able to see it all month because I've been literally, and this is no exaggeration, you could ask this man. He will corroborate this. I've been literally editing and recording and uploading and making thumbnails this entire month, every hour of every day. So,
yeah,
I'll take today to go watch the Pikachu who's
yeah, it's Ryan Gosling.
No, it's the other dude. What the fuck is his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
There we go.
Okay. Now, Kid Dracula is obviously worse than Getsu Fumiden in the NES version of Kid Dracula because it just feels really fucking rough.
It feels bad. Like, I would probably put it below YY World. Heck, it might even go below YY World too.
I mean, it goes... Why is YY World 2 below Dracula XX?
You know, we were talking about that earlier. Go ahead and move it above that.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be down there.
I mean,
it doesn't need that shame.
Yeah, no.
Heck, it could probably go above the 64 titles.
Uh-oh. We got a YY World Uprising. You know what? You're right. I think that's right.
Okay.
Personally.
And then Kid Dracula goes below YY World 1 and 2. I feel like most of them
I think that's right.
Wait.
I think that's right. What's up?
I'm trying to think of NES 1, but yeah, this is where Game Boy 1 goes.
Yeah, we'll worry about NES 1 when we get there.
Right.
Okay.
We're getting there, Dan. We got to the what, bottom 20 or something?
Yeah, we're almost at the top 20. We're almost done with the bottom 20.
Yeah, we're almost done with the first half.
Because this list is only 38 long.
So Kid Dracula.
We've ranked more games than this for Mega Man. It was just a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because as we said, we hate Rockman and Forte. The Game Boy games are mostly bad. Even though people disagree with us. Let's talk Kid Dracula NES.
I feel like
it's probably better than Super Bomberman R.
You think? I was like...
It's just that last fucking level that's a goddamn problem.
It's true. That one is awful. The art is really neat. Like, that really cute aesthetic.
And the music's fun, and the levels have bits and gags in them that are really good.
Yes.
Admittedly, the Game Boy one, we should have given it credit when we ranked it. We should have been like, Kid Dracula on the Game Boy has Jason Voorhees come out of his house with a fucking axe. Yeah, it was a chainsaw, and then once you take him down once, he goes back in and gets a fucking musket, or a shotgun. It's real good. It's real good, you guys. The NES version did not have that. But the NES version does have the Statue of Liberty quiz.
Yes.
It has really funny moments with the quiz show guy and how he's just constantly changing how he looks.
Okay, you're selling me on this. I feel like this might be better than Bomberman.
It might.
I feel like
the joy of both of them is pretty similar.
Right, like playing it didn't feel that great. Like it still feels rough.
Mm-hmm.
So that might edge out Bomberman a little bit.
You're right. Bomberman doesn't feel nearly as rough for a Bomberman game
The Kid Dracula
as
does
Kid Dracula
for
just for a platformer, because you turn into a bat, touch a wall, you untransform, and
die.
That feels like shit. You throw out the homing shots, and it's just slow motion.
Yeah.
The space elevator was rough as shit, but I would tolerate the space elevator if that was the last level.
Yeah, like it felt like it should have been.
Yeah.
So now the question is it better than Konami YY World?
I think it's sheer brute force of charm overwhelms YY World 1, because a lot of what's great about YY World 1 is how you travel to these different worlds, and there's some funny gags here and there, like you transporting to the world as you getting electrified.
Right.
Pretty good gag, but on that front...
Simon Belmont kills Dracula in one hit.
Yes. That was good. I feel like Kid Dracula outperforms it. The expressiveness of all the characters, the thick witches, the characters just have a really good chibi art style and expressiveness to all of them.
Right. I guess.
I mean, even your charge shot makes your little
your little doom face at the bottom.
Yeah. Express in a way that's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm okay with putting it better than YY World 1. So yeah, I guess that goes right there. Goes right below Bomberman and right above that.
I think that's right. I feel good about that. Get to Fumaden as a chat, and I'm not placing it.
Okay.
It's just there, okay? Oh, now we're getting into hard shit.
Yeah, we are.
I'm confident in saying Castlevania 1 and Castlevania 3 should probably be thrown up there now.
Sure. This seems like it's their time.
This is just when it's gonna get really rough.
Along with Belmont's Revenge, probably.
I feel like Belmont's Revenge is better than a lot of these other things. I think when you consider the limitations of the Game Boy, it knocks out Lament of Innocence. But
that's true. We don't have Lament up there yet.
Let's throw up
Lament.
Come on down. What else? We need to. This is a hard conversation.
Right. I feel like that we should just be like, this is the 3D version.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, because we have the weirdo.
We have the pack-ins.
Yeah, we have the pack-ins,
which is separate. A great value, and we should acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm. Like Symphony, but we have Symphony Night PSP up here somewhere.
Separate, right there.
Yeah, separate.
Right there.
Yeah, okay, there it is.
So we should throw that up there now, of course, because that's going to be in that grouping. And should we throw this up?
Bloodstained?
Yeah.
Curse of the Moon?
Curse of the Moon.
Curse of the Moon.
Sure. I feel like it's probably going to beat out most of those, but sure.
That's the thing. I think it's going to place pretty high up. I'm going to take a moment.
Just look at this list?
Mm-hmm. Just looking at that part of this list. In fact, we may want a little space. Because we're going to do some bad shuffling.
Yeah, we are.
Here we go. We're just shoving that up all the way to the bottom of the screen. Okay. Now, let's roughly put this near the bottom. Because it runs at 30 frames per second.
It does. But it has so much...
Okay, hear me out.
It's good.
Hear me out. We're not old men. You can admit Castlevania 1's a little lacking, and its balance is completely broken.
It's kind of rough. Let's look at this. Is it better than Super Mario R? I'm not sure.
Is it better than Lament of Innocence? A little difficult. A little difficult.
This Bomberman R game keeps pushing itself up the list.
I know, this is a fucking joke. And no, we're not being ironic with our ranking. We wouldn't do that to you. That would defeat the point of this. It's
if we were sitting down and doing this for hours, would we just be lying? Come on.
God, could you imagine? That's just wasting our time and theirs.
Right? I'm like, man.
But yeah,
I think it's better than Kid Dracula. I'm comfortable with saying that.
Yeah, I agree. It has a very refined sensibility to it that Kid Dracula lacks.
Right. It just feels like a much more solid.
It also,
platform.
like, you know, we're not really trying to hold these games in this light. Otherwise, 64 might place even higher. But you have to think about, like, for its time, it is the first of many things. You know, it's like the first gothic horror game, basically. Because it's combining all these Hollywood movie monsters into one video game. It's a really cool, very original idea. I like it. There's a reason it was ported to so many things.
Right. It's important
Castlevania
for the
1.
series, for sure.
Castlevania 1, better than Kid Dracula. Is it better
The
than Super Bomberman R?
R.
I'm going to say yes.
I guess we can go ahead. Super Bomberman R is
Cannot be in the top 10.
Yeah, no, it cannot.
People will roast us for eternity.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with saying that. That seems like it's supposed to say.
Yes. But let's be clear, it's close. Now, Getsu Dead is better than the original Castlevania.
Yes, I'm willing to sign up for that.
So I'm not saying it goes right above it.
But we can.
But for now, we're doing that. Is Dracula X Chronicles, the 3D version with all the cutscenes and voice acting and all these cool elements and mild redesigns of the characters, better than Getsu Dead?
I'm gonna go with no. Because I think Get the Fumaden's got the interesting world map. It's got the weirdo third-person mode.
God, yeah.
It's
the maze crawler, the dungeon explorer, where you've got first-person combat.
Yes, it's a psychotic game, which I really enjoy.
It's a really hard battle we're talking about here between polish of gameplay and production values.
Yeah.
Because Dracula X Chronicles, I really like the cutscenes they do.
Yeah, no.
I think it adds a lot to the... Like, unlike Dracula XX, which is placing way lower.
Yeah, right.
Dracula X Chronicles adds a lot to the franchise. There's a reason to visit it. You know, you get a dialogue between Richter and his wife if you fuck up, and she gets converted into a succubus.
Right.
You get a dialogue scene. Dracula's fantastic. I think the visuals in that game are banging. You know, that's a great looking PSP game. Yeah. I think it looks really good run in an emulator at like 4K. Like, that thing looks really sharp.
I'd rather play it in Castlevania 1. That is for sure.
Okay. That probably would get you crucified in a lot of circles, but that's okay. They would have to catch up to you first. And lucky for us, walkers, they're kind of slow.
Sorry.
But I mean, I'm making a joke, and it's a bit mean. But like, I truly do feel that Castlevania 1 is an important game, and it did a lot, and it's a great game. And obviously, like, this is a Castlevania franchise from here on out. These are all, like, I would start recommending games starting at like Konami YY World 2. Like, everything above that, I think is going to be a fucking exceptional game, and people should play.
Even down to 64, it's like, you should play this. You should see what it is. And then, yeah, above that was YY World 2, and then all those are definitely worth playing. Like, definitely good games.
I think Kid Dracula should be below Legacy of Darkness. Just because it feels a little bit worse.
Like Game Boy Kid Dracula?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we had it there, and then we moved it around. But I feel like you're right. It's fine. It being below Legacy of Darkness, I can deal with that. Because it's just, the Game Boy's not ready.
So now, everything above here I heartily recommend. This area I recommend with hesitation. And fuck everything.
Yeah, all those are just no. Don't even.
This I recommend you join me for my live stream.
That is it.
And this, if you want to drink with Halesy and talk about how everyone else's opinions suck.
Maybe talk about the Dark Tournament a little bit.
Bob, I think you say the word tournament around him, he's drunk. Xeon's just going to launch into a tirade about the Tournament of Power.
That's fair. That's
It's
a good
2019
assumption.
Xeon. It's a dark future. So we were talking. This should go below Getsufumiden.
Yeah. Get the Fuma, I feel like, is going to be rocking up this list.
I think you're right. Now, I feel pretty confident that this is above Getsufumiden. Castlevania 3,
Castlevania
great game.
3 is great.
Amazing music. Especially since it's the FAM edition.
There we go.
Sorry, let me Now, I think Belmont's Revenge is better than Getsufumiden. I think Belmont's Revenge is like the only portable Castlevania before Circle of the Moon that remotely places in the pantheon of greater classic Vanias. It has amazing music. It feels great. It has...
The art's amazing for
The art is so amazing.
for the
There's
Game
small
Boy.
things, like, you know how we were shitting on Legends, right?
Yeah.
But there are details in the adventure, or Belmont's Revenge, where you go to the plant castle, and as you pass the plants in the background, they bloom. In the background layer on a Game Boy game.
Right. I'm like, I want to say Get the Spoon is better, but I'm like, I don't know.
I feel like there's a little bit less polish in Getsufumiden.
Right.
I feel like it doesn't feel as tight. At no point in Belmont's Revenge it lit up again,
Yeah, it
ladies and gentlemen. We should have just ramped the brightness down on this TV. It was truly a mistake. I feel like at every moment in Belmont's Revenge, I never felt like I'm getting gypped. This is, yeah, you have to hit more settings. There you go.
Yeah,
I never felt like the game was controlling wrong and it was at blame for anything that was going on. I'm watching Bob not know where settings are on a TV that's been in his living room for a year. It's the picture mode settings. And then OLED light, we can just crank that down and that'll be good enough. We'll remember that it was 80.
Give me that pointer. Yeah.
Shaking TV. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, I feel like that's the thing there. Getsufuma, there was a lot in that maze crawler, that dungeon explorer where I was having difficulty wrapping my head around the gameplay itself.
Right.
You know, like, where do I swing my sword to hit the enemy?
You jump and
they're
swing
in
works,
the background.
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's confusing.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say Belmont's Revenge is better.
Okay.
It has better music.
Yeah, it does. I'm good with that. Just because Belmont's Revenge is so crazy.
Okay, now this is gonna make me puke blood. We're starting to get there.
Lament of Innocence.
You know what? It's easier to just do Curse of the Moon right now, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like it goes below Getsufuma. Like, that's where I'm thinking about putting it.
But Getsufumiden himself is in it.
I know, right?
This is complicated.
Maybe because it's probably below Belmont's Revenge.
If I could tie these things, if I could put a tie, I'd put the tie between Getsufumiden and Curse of the Moon. I'd put them perfectly tied, but we can't do that.
If the music were better, it could punch up there with Revenge, with Belmont's Revenge.
Yes, I feel like if the gameplay design was a little better, the art was a little bit better, and the music was a banger, then I would put it up there with that. But it's not. No. It's not. So what we're talking about then is that.
I'm still like, Getsufuma might be. It's more interesting, but I mean, Curse of the Moon does neat stuff. Like, it does actually have like the characters switching in real time, and
which allows you to take a bunch of different paths through levels. Like, if it didn't have the bunch of different paths thing, I would probably rank it a little bit lower because then it would have no original ideas.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that they design ways for each path to be locked up to each person, and it's not through, well, this one slides and this one turns into a bat. Like, a lot of them, it's more complicated than that. Like, this person can jump this high. This person has a fire shield.
Right.
And it incentivizes you to do multiple playthroughs with different endings each time.
Right.
Getsufuma doesn't have a map inside of that fucking maze.
It doesn't.
And that's a nightmare.
It is.
And that's like, as much as the maze thing is fucking mind-blowing to have in an NES game, it's also like really rough.
Not a good idea. I get it.
Not polished, yeah.
Now then, Dan. Limit of Innocence. Where's this thing going?
I don't know, but I'm gonna need a break after this to deal with the heartbreak.
I feel like Lament goes...
I feel like it goes below Castlevania 1.
Yeah, like Castlevania 1 is probably... It's better than Castlevania... Or Castlevania 1's better than it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm worried that Bomberman might be better too.
I mean, it is, but at some point we have to stop Bomberman's tirade.
Okay, so at very least we're talking about this.
Yeah, because it's
And
rough.
I assume, that Lament would place below Bomberman if it didn't have one of the best soundtracks ever.
It does have a great soundtrack and some amazing cutscenes.
Yeah, it's really key now.
As far as the game is, I'm like, oh man, Kid Dracula might be better.
Kid Dracula is better. No, that was not quite right.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see.
Okay. I think that's right. We're going to take a quick break. Okay, Bob. Lament of Innocence is worse than the original Castlevania.
Yeah. Yeah, so should we drop it below Kid Dracula?
Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like I would recommend Kid Dracula to people before I'd recommend Lament of Innocence.
Yeah, Lament is just so rough.
The problem is that Lament offers a lot to the pantheon
It does.
of Castlevania.
Right, like
It has the amazing cutscenes as Ronaldo, as Leon. But it's just really rough, and it's hard to get through it. There's no leveling. There's, one might say the game design itself is a chore,
right.
and that's not a good thing to be able to say.
Just so many repeated hallways, so many rooms that look identical.
Now, once again, if its soundtrack wasn't an absolute kick-ass game, it wouldn't be that high. The soundtrack wasn't absolutely kick-ass for a game.
Right.
Slash in general. How do we feel?
I feel like that's probably where it goes, because I'm like, it's not better. It's better than Legacy of Darkness in 64 for sure.
And it's better than YY World.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it can sit there.
Okay. So Castlevania 3, Castlevania The Adventure 2, Belmont's Revenge, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, Getsufuma Den, Dracula X Chronicles, Castlevania, Super Bomberman R, Kid Dracula, Lament of Innocence, Konami YY World 1, and then 2. Let's at least get some consistency here. Elsewhere, it's funny. There, it's just sad. Also, this font is bigger than this font, and I'm not sure how that happened.
It's fine, though.
So, Konami YY World 2 is better than Legacy of Darkness. Sure. Kid Dracula on Game Boy is worse than Legacy of Darkness, which I feel that's fair. It's got some joyous cutscenes, but you know, the opening of Legacy of Darkness is pretty it has good cinematography. It's got
a skeleton that's on fire, running like a madman.
It was just like, oh fuck, skeleton sing across the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything up to this point is solid.
This is pretty rock solid. Poor Castlevania 2. Below Legends.
Hey Dan, it earned it.
I know it does gameplay-wise some pretty repugnant things, but I feel like Legends is a non-stop occurrence of that the whole way through.
They're
Where
both
it's
so
like,
bad.
Jump through the floor to get above that. Also, those whip moments. Remember the whip that was moving, and whenever you jump off of it, it wouldn't have the same arc that it would when they were stationary?
Oh, yeah.
Like, Legends isn't even trying to be ambitious. It's not a non-linear game. It's not a giant open-world design.
I can't even, like, the bosses, having bosses is neat, but they're basically pointless because of your invincibility. So maybe Castlevania 2 is better than Legends.
Okay. Thank God.
So bad.
But like, we could at very least say it's credited to the fact that the core engaging with it is consistent, like in what happens when you do certain things. Unlike the ropes in Legends and the jumping through the floor, which I can't express how mad that makes me, that they would intentionally do that for a Castlevania game.
Yeah. No, it's bad. Legends is a really bad game.
It is a really bad game. And even though it has bosses, as Bob said, basically all of them but Dracula are moot. So what should have been an easy win on one front becomes harder.
Yeah.
And its soundtrack is incredible. Like, there are multiple songs from that get remixed. Bloody Tears mostly, but the Adventure Rebirth being above it is its own sort of like complicated mess of like, this is a traditional structure Castlevania. This is a non-linear giant mess of a game that requires you to do bullshit.
Yeah.
So I think this is right.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. I'm good.
So my threshold for recommended games probably starts here. I probably recommend everything Kid Dracula Game Boy and up.
Okay.
With the understanding that Kid Dracula and Game Boy runs in slow motion.
You probably shouldn't play that. But you could.
But you could. Okay, so we're feeling good so far. Let's get the rest of the classic Vanias in here. Because that is going to be so much easier for us to rank before we start throwing in the Gigavanias and start crying.
Yeah, no, losing our minds trying to do that. Is there more that we can't see up higher? Is there something we're not seeing?
This is it.
Okay, just double check.
Everything got moved down slowly. Okay, so let's place Castlevania. Fuck. Let's just tentatively put Rondo on the top.
Yeah, I'm like, Rondo, I feel like is the top of the line.
Where is Chronicles? Now, I think Chronicles is really great. Would I say it's better than Belmont's Revenge? That's a little tough. Belmont's Revenge does some really amazing things considering the limitations of the platform it's on. I think it has really great music, and it isn't just a remake of one.
Right. Like, I think that makes sense. Like, Chronicles right below Castlevania and Belmont's Revenge.
Right, because I think it's better than Curse of the Moon.
Yeah.
I think it's polished enough. It has enough neat moments.
I mean, it has this freaking the
werewolf.
The werewolf thing.
That is fucking insane in how cool it is. So there we go. We're gonna put that there. We're gonna put this over here. There we go. This makes sense so far. Is Bloodlines better than Rondo? You know what? Let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about Castlevania 4. Fuck.
I like Rondo more.
Let's not worry about that.
Okay.
We're gonna worry about Castlevania 3 and lower.
It's Castlevania 3 and lower.
In fact, let me just to make this easier.
Maybe I'd put it below 3.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Because
it's better than Belmont's Revenge.
Yeah, it's better than Belmont's Revenge. I think
both of those are better than Chronicles.
Mm-hmm. I feel like Castlevania 4's only weak point is the music.
Yeah, some of the songs are less melodic and more weird, smooth jazz or remix, like experimental jazz sound.
Yeah,
and then other ones are also ambience.
Right, ambient songs are always my least favorite.
It could be cool, and I like some of them in this game, but there are others where it's just like it doesn't even.
So I'm like.
So yeah, I would put it above Belmont's Revenge personally.
Yeah, I'm like, is it better than 3? It's probably.
Let's be frank, on a fucking soundtrack front, it is getting bodied hard.
It is. It's
3
like
has invented the best songs in the series. It's got Beginning. It's got Riddle. It's got Aquarius.
Riddle and Aquarius?
Yeah, no, 3 is a fucking goat. It is the greatest of all time when it comes to fucking soundtracks of these. That's why I bought that fucking cartridge. Which is why when Firehawk was like, man, that's kind of pricey, I'm like,
if there's a game on the Famicom to own,
if you're
only gonna own one game.
One game on the Famicom, yeah, it was, what was it? It was gonna be that or a Mega Man game.
That's
Just because the Mega Man games have really amazing box art.
They do.
But yeah, no, that. Because it has the special sound. Like, I'm not gonna get Mr. Do. Or Mr. Gimmick. I'm not gonna get Mr. Gimmick.
No.
That's...
Mr. Do?
Mr. Do is a game.
Is it?
It's
okay.
it's on the SNES. It was originally an arcade game. That's why I mixed them. 'Cause it is also a game. From a soundtrack front, Castlevania 3 is beating the shit out of Castlevania 4. Let's talk about the other fronts, though. I feel like the environment art in Castlevania 3 can get a little messy at times. The tiles can start to look really bad, where, like, in the first level even, there's half of a stained glass window.
Right.
It just cuts off halfway down to show nothing. That can get rough, but it also has some really amazing per line scroll effects, like little parallaxy type effects for the mist.
I feel like it's visually stronger than Forest. Like,
especially for their platform.
Right. Like
for the respective platforms, the title screen, for like just the visual design of the coloration and everything of the title card in Japanese is really good for 3.
Right.
Now 4 is also good, but I don't think it's that good.
And you know my opinion of Mud Level. 4.
I hope everyone's thoroughly acquainted.
So it's really just how unique and interesting the whip mechanic is in 4.
I mean, it's neat, but is it as neat as Sifa or Grant?
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah.
Like, those are wholly different characters to play as.
And it gets replay value, and there are multiple paths in them in that game.
Yeah, and there's only the one pass.
This isn't to say Castlevania 4 is bad. It's better than Belmont's Revenge, in my opinion.
It's just that now we are in the heavy hitters territory.
Mm-hmm. And every game from here on up is a game that I can easily recommend. Oh, wait, what's Tana? One sec.
Ton of Sorrow.
Let me just,
wait, Sorrows?
We're just gonna...
Work it up the list, baby? Nah, it's good.
Nah, it's good. We'll revisit it if we remember. We'll be like, weird, we're one number short. Oh,
Don't know what happened.
Boys will be... Giga boys will be boys. Oh.
So now we're doing Rondo. I will go out there and say Rondo is better than 3. Has a great soundtrack. Has 2 playable characters still. The art is just amazing.
Okay. The strength of the 2 playable characters is more so than the 3 in Castlevania 3. The fluidity of the controls, the amazing feeling you get when you find a new area, which you unlock via gameplay instead of choosing it in between levels.
Right, it is much more linked to how the game is played.
So I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Bloodlines is really good.
It's really good.
It is so good.
I'm like the only
Bloodlines should be higher.
Oh my god.
I think
I'm still gonna say Rondo's better. What did you?
Rondo is better.
Okay.
It just is. My points against Bloodlines. This is amazing. Okay. Here's a point against and a point for. You ready?
Okay.
Against. Hell yes, some of those bosses are just straight up like your Amiga style, your Genesis style, Mega Drive style. We took a bunch of sprite art and animated it along vectors to make it look 3D.
Right.
That's a point against, in my opinion. It comes off as gimmicky and it doesn't come off as holistic. It's the mode 7 of that game. It stands out like a sore fucking thumb.
But it's really neat.
Here's a point 4. The Genesis soundtrack is so good.
It is.
When you get a really good setup with like an original Genesis or some Genesis mods to make the sound excellent, or you have like a Mega SG so you can get really clean sound out of it, incredible. And then you hit one of those dumbass bosses and it goes, It does the Genesis farts.
Yeah, I feel like the bosses are just way stronger in Rondo. Like,
Oh,
Bloodlines,
yeah.
Bloodlines has tech demo bosses.
Yes. I don't think there's any questioning that Rondo is a better game than Bloodlines, but once again, everyone, we cannot say this enough. This part of the list is all amazing games. But like from Chronicles up, it's games that it's like you should play these.
Right. Like, they'd be worth buying physical copies of, except for Chronicles.
Except for Chronicles, because it's $300 fucking dollars.
Right.
Thank you, Nicholas Cameron, for sending us your copy so that way we could do the video.
Yes.
Because our method of doing that was not ready in time. Good thing it'll be ready for Sonic Month when it won't matter.
There's not a Sonic game on the PS1 at all because, you know, they had their own console at that point, yeah.
Yep. And I doubt Professor Abrasive will be done with his solution for the Saturn by then.
All right. Okay.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, Bloodlines below
So now we're
Rondo.
Castlevania 3 Bloodlines.
I like Bloodlines more.
Okay.
That might just
make
be me.
the argument.
The soundtrack, as we were going over, incredible.
It is.
It still has two playable characters. They're
Yes.
not. The swinging was not Belmont.
Jonathan?
It was Jonathan.
Or John? John Morris?
It's
Yeah.
not great, but it's still neat. I'm trying. The art is really interesting. Like the merman, you see a merman in Bloodlines that looks like nothing else.
I feel like the character design in Bloodlines is really strong, and sometimes that does, and other times it does not translate well into on screen.
It's fair. Sometimes it
Merman's
doesn't go right.
amazing. John Morris is amazing. Then you see John Morris climb stairs.
Yes, climbing stairs is a mistake in that game. I don't know why. I don't know why it looks worse than everything else in that game.
I feel like his whip also looks incredibly lame until you get the light ability, which is cool as hell.
Right. Like, that's undeniable. His energy whip is really cool.
These two are really close. That's all I know right now.
Yeah, I definitely put it above 4. So,
I'm working step by step. I'm
Okay.
trying to figure out which one's better, 3 or It. I'm gonna solve that problem. Because I know it's better than Chronicles. And I know it's better than Belmont's Revenge.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure it's better than Castlevania 4. I'm pretty sure, you know?
Yeah, that's where I'd put it. Like, I'd put it above 3. You have... Just playing it feels better.
I'll be right back.
You okay, Dad? Dan getting alcohol?
Look, man, I'm under a lot of stress. Austin Bob is not an alcohol, it's just root beer.
Is it your father's root beer?
It is. It's like Tenchi's special wine. Sans paper bag. Here, see? Just a root beer.
Just a root beer that you're not going to show me the front of.
I did.
The front is blank, yep. Wait, NYF. It's not your father's root beer.
It's not your fucking business, is what that stands for. This is my root beer. Anyway.
Yeah, the system of powering up your weapon and getting a super special shot to use is a lot of fun.
It is. I like the triplicator system, though. It's pretty nice. Being able to work your way up to triple cross in Castlevania 3 is nice. You can't do that in that. The cross ring is a much better sub-weapon than the boomerang.
Yeah.
Boomerang just sucks. The holy water is nowhere near as over-fucking powered, and it just does feel bad to me. The item crush versions of most weapons is garbage and should not be in the game. You use the holy water item crush style in Bloodlines. It spins around like this. It barely does any damage to the enemy. It seems more like they had a neat idea for a visual, and then, like, no enemy is owned by that. Meanwhile, if you get the glowing spear as fucking Eric, You can own the second boss like that. He's just gone. You have to pour like 60, 80 hearts into it, but still.
Right, because that's
That's
super
the point.
weapon is
Once again, motherfuckers, the point. Okay, good. The point isn't that you're supposed to use sub-weapons on every single enemy. You can deal with them with your normal fucking weapon. The point is you're supposed to use your sub-weapons effectively on the bosses.
right. I think that checks out for most Castlevania design.
So I'm fucking tired of these video essay babies. It's fine. I think it's easy to say that the sub-weapons are a lot stronger in Castlevania 3. I think the ice spell that Sypha gets and normal sub-weapons of the traditional series are a lot stronger. The fire spell's pretty great as Sypha as well, where she shoots out the flames in front of her, doing a ton of damage to enemies that you can execute it on.
Right.
I think the design of... Okay, here's a really good point. The design of the battle with Dracula at the end of 3 is really solid.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Whereas in Bloodlines, you saw that. It's a big old dumb mess where you fight her, and then you fight him, and then you fight him as a giant idiot.
And jumping around like a...
Well, you fight him, then he becomes a weird sorcerer. Then he becomes a giant idiot. Remember? He has the little staff.
Right. That was strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
Whereas-
3 is better.
Whereas the ending of Castlevania 3, you fight Dracula, then he becomes... Okay, you fight and kill Dracula, who looks like Dracula, okay? Then he becomes a fucked up, almost like Legion-esque pile of faces that are crying acidic blood. And and it's made of fleshy material, and you need to break down all 5 faces using cross rings, and then it destroys them, and he screeches in this like really great sound effect. And then he becomes a giant, crazy motherfucking almost Egyptian statue in the background that's shooting eye lasers and shit as platforms go around the room and other attacks happen. And it's like, they really one-upped Castlevania 1 with the big blue monster. They did it. Meanwhile, the crotch mouth, like Dracula from Bloodlines, is really bad
He just jumps around and shoots fire with it, yeah.
and looks dumb. He looks really dumb. Like,
Maybe, I mean, I like the moment-to-moment gameplay of Bloodlines more, but maybe like as a whole, I think 3 is better. So maybe we just put it below 3.
okay, well, we'll try that out. We can revisit it. Both have really great soundtracks. It's just 3 has a mildly better one. Like, there's no like, oh, 3's got the soundtrack that's a billion times better.
Yeah, Bloodlines soundtrack is immaculate. It's hard to...
Like,
It
look
can't
at
be
these 3 fucking games.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are gonna have a hard time, and I guess also this asshole. Let's figure out where this puppy goes.
Dawn of Sorrow. Just go ahead and show the worst GigaBoots up, okay.
I don't think it's better than...
No, it's not better than any of those.
It's not better than these 3.
No.
I wouldn't say it's better than this or this. Might be better than that. It's probably better than that.
Yeah, I feel like it's gotta be better than Curse of the Moon.
Yeah. But is it better than Chronicles? That's a problem. Because Chronicles
has lots of neat ideas for stuff.
So I don't think it's better than Chronicles. I think Chronicles, even weirdly enough, even though it's the most cynical thing you could do, remake the first game again.
Right.
Chronicles has a lot of really, really neat ideas about it.
So yeah, I feel like we can put it below
Okay,
Chronicles.
let's do that for now.
Yeah.
We'll see if any other GigaBoots shortly join it. I should have set like cut and paste to 2 different keys on your mouse.
Apparently.
That would have made this go insanely fast. In fact, this is easier than me doing the Control X, Control V. Because I could just highlight and yeah. Okay. What do we think is the next weakest?
Circle. Yeah, that's my next lowest.
Not Ecclesia? I'm kind of surprised. I thought I was gonna have to fight you tooth and nail over fucking Ecclesia.
No, Ecclesia's the next one after that, but Circle.
Okay,
is weak.
so then I ask you, where's Curse?
Curse is. It can go live down there.
It's complicated.
With I want to say it's right below Dawn.
I'm gonna say that too, but then a certain Kino Zed Excelente might get really smug about the fact that Dawn's better than Curse. And I make all my tier lists to own the libs.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, that's a way to live.
Maybe it is better than Dawn.
No.
Dawn is rough.
Dawn's rough. And the soul drop system being completely fucked like it is bad. But the core gameplay loop of Dawn of Sorrows is much better, despite the seals, despite the jobbers, despite the soundtrack not being as good as Curse. God damn it! Why are so many?
Yeah, the Curse soundtrack is great. The story is amazing. It involves freaking Crispin Freeman yelling at people.
That's all it takes.
It's all it takes.
Why don't you assholes write that more often? Jesus Christ. We just spelled it out. It's so easy. Okay, we're going to put it above Dawn of Sorrow. But from my angle, the reason we're doing that is because Dawn of Sorrow's fucking luck system is completely broken for souls.
Right.
Its soundtrack is nowhere near as good as Curse of Darkness. Its story is nowhere near as Kino as Curse of Darkness, with the fucking Count Saint Germain and Zed. Or Zed. I forget what they called him.
I think it is Zed, actually.
Yeah, I think they said Zed in the video, but then Feel was like Zed because it's EA, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to us, but we didn't. We're not ego. That's not how it's said, most likely.
And the gameplay loop is like there's something that hits the right part of the brain with that one too. It's just like, oh man, I'm collecting things. I need to do this sort of collection to upgrade my spirit monster this way.
Yeah, and there's a whole point to replayability in that game. Plus, not only do you have reasons to replay it for 100%ing, you also get the Trevor mode.
Oh, yeah, right. The Trevor mode's in there. I mean, Dawn has its
Julius mode. And the Julius mode is a real big dick energy. Like, let's be clear. It's one of the best modes they ever had. It blows Maxim Kashine mode out of the fucking water.
Yes.
Speaking of jobbers.
Maxim is so much better than those jobbers. He's a weirdo, at least.
He's good in the main story.
Yeah.
His animations are really bad. His walking animation is not done.
No.
I don't know how they made the leap from that to fucking Arya.
All right,
and he's even a boss.
Right? Yeah.
That needs to be considered. It wasn't like, oh, this goofy mode where you see all these animations. No, they made him a boss. Okay. I am willing to say that Circle of the Moon is better. Fuck.
Better than what?
Great question. I was ready to say a thing, and then I mulled it over, and I disagreed. Circle of the Moon's really great. I'm coming out of this CastleMania thinking about playing it. Like, I just want to play it through again. Because I really enjoy it. The whip is definitely something different from how it is in Harmony of Dissonance. And it is something you need to account for with your momentum and stuff, you know?
Right. I feel like just moving around isn't immediately fun. Like, I forget the feeling from most of the other
Igavanias, yeah. Because
like,
that one isn't technically Iga.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather play Dawn.
I get it.
The soundtrack is better.
Wait.
Sorry, the soundtrack of Circle is better.
Okay, I was like, but excuse me, I don't remember the part in fucking. There's one good song in Dawn of Sorrow. It's called Subterranean Hell. It is a great song. Every other song, bad.
They both have a.
You know what? No, never mind. I changed my mind. The second area has a good song too. It's the one that goes do 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 do, and then it immediately transitions into piano stuff where it's like do 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 do.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good song. Subterranean Hell's a good song. Literally nothing else is. Even the remixes of older songs sound awful just because of the sound font they're using. It's not even the composition exclusively or whatever. So yeah, Circle has better music than Dawn.
Right, for sure.
But you can only use a whip.
You can only use the whip, and the jumps feel kind of just wrong. They just don't feel good.
They feel weird, yeah.
And the double hit tapping to run is the worst.
It's pretty bad. I get used to it, but I totally understand people not, because it's pretty bad.
The card system, I don't really care for.
I think it's neat. I like being able to get ice swords and freeze enemies and platform up them to get secret areas.
Yeah.
I like being able to transform into a skeleton and having an odds of throwing 1 damage or 99999 damage. I like the summoning ability, summoning the different summons, like cockatrice.
I think the summons are the neatest part of the card system. For sure.
I like the shields.
Like,
shields can destroy your projectiles that enemies throw at you, and there's a number of different types of shields.
But the way you have to interface with might be what makes it bad. Just like there's so many.
The non-guarantee ability of the drops, not knowing which enemies do it.
Yeah, not knowing which enemies do it, having to go through every single card in combo to try and find something actually is worth using.
Well, I mean, once you get enough cards, you understand. Okay, the second one affects stats. Okay, right. The third one affects blank. And then on the bottom row, fire, ice, earth, wind. Because not only is it going to be obvious through the effects that they cause, but it's going to be obvious through the thing on the card itself.
Right, it'll give you a little description, but...
Or it'll just be a salamander, and you'll be like, oh, it does fire. Okay. I'll put Dawn above it. But I won't like it.
It's fair.
Just so we're clear.
I don't like Dawn either.
Dawn of Sorrow's greatest sin is being a copycat of another fucking game.
Right. But one of Circle of the Moon's greatest strength is taking all the good music from other games.
You're not wrong.
Wait, Circle of the Moon's over there twice, or you just did copy and paste instead of delete? Okay.
I should have used the mouse. I was a fool to not use the mouse. Let's go ahead and place...
You want to do all the symphonies now?
No.
Okay. Order of Ecclesia.
Sure, I was gonna do Harmony, but Order of Ecclesia is just hanging out over there. I think Order of Ecclesia is better than Castlevania 4.
I can live with that.
A lot of the strengths of Castlevania 4 are paralleled by Order of Ecclesia. For example, that game has a shitload of levels. It gives you a grand sense of traveling the countryside. One of Castlevania 4's strengths is that you travel the countryside before you get to the castle, and then you fight the castle itself. Something that Castlevania Chronicles doesn't do because it remakes 1. It's all in the castle. I think that strength is greatly magnified by Order of Ecclesia. I appreciate Order of Ecclesia's sense of difficulty. I appreciate its amazing soundtrack. And I really like what they did with the castle, that it is an area at the very end and it has like 3 or 4 different bosses. And it even has a secret exit that takes you to a whole new challenge.
Yeah, I'm okay with going with 4. I feel like that's an appropriate place for it.
Also, the sprite work in Ecclesia is fucking unreal how good it is, which Castlevania 4 couldn't even remotely compare to. Because its environment stuff and sprite work is nowhere near as good. But part of it was the limitation of the tools at the time and the platform it was on. This is getting hard.
Yeah.
Let's do Harmony next.
Sure.
Harmony of Dissonance. If the castle weren't fucked up, let me be clear, I'd put it above order. In a heartbeat.
Yeah. Okay.
It's that fucking castle. Where it's like, haha, you've been... Spoiler. You've been going to 2 castles this whole time. That just makes it a cluster to think about. And not only that.
And they'll overlay the maps on top of each other, make them kind of both useless.
And not only that. Well, you can select which one you're looking at, and then you can select to view the composite.
Right.
Not only that, you can't just walk across a castle. You have to take teleporters. There's teleporters that take you... You can take the teleporter to different teleporters, or you can take the teleporter to the other castle. You can't just walk across a whole castle. There are parts that are blocked off entirely, where it'd be an opening in the other castle. It's a nightmare.
Okay.
And not in a way that's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm no big fan of Order, but yeah, it's better than Harmony, just because Harmony's got some rough decisions.
Yeah, aside from that, I really like how different its aesthetic is. I really like the combat system.
Yeah, no, it's got really good bosses. It's got great music.
Yeah, it has really good bosses. In fact, I would put it in order, like, kind of top-ish tier for bosses, which is a shame because Arya does not hit as strongly on that front for bosses. I know you hate Crab Battle. We both hate Crab Battle.
Yeah, Crab Battle's bad.
Crab Battle's aesthetically fine once in an amazing set piece. Boss rush with that thing sucks dick.
Right.
And there's no boss in Harmony that is like that.
No. And Harmony bosses are, just really good about doing neat things with them.
And I feel like the magic system in Harmony of Dissonance is really good.
Yeah.
Like being able to... But then, you hit that moment where you're like, I wish I had a different fucking sub-weapon.
Right. That's always a problem with something like that, where you have to deal with location drops for sub-weapons.
Where it's a composite between the type of magic you're using and the sub-weapon to decide what the effect is.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, let's put it below Ecclesia. I feel like it still beats that 4.
Yeah.
Like, it...
Yeah.
It's interesting enough.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It has better bosses.
It does.
Much better bosses. I played more boss rush of Harmony of Dissonance than I've played most Castlevania games. We're gonna move these next to each other.
Okay.
I cannot believe we're finally getting to the end of this.
Yeah, right. Now it's the hardest one, so...
I'm just gonna check that everything's still recording.
And need some water.
Whatever happens, I'm not gonna like it.
Yeah, no.
It's gonna...
It's a real moment here.
Mm-hmm. Blueberry Fig Newtons are really good.
They are. Noted.
Hey, man. I'm taking a moment to enjoy the nice things. Like Blueberry Fig Newtons. And procrastination. I don't like it.
Yeah, no, it's rough.
Let's do Symphony.
Okay.
It's gonna be easier than placing Aria and Portrait.
Okay. We can do this. Oh my god, I can't believe only a couple GigaBoots are even that high up.
Yeah, I'm starting to think we should drop Bloodlines in 3, but
yeah, those are hard to move, man.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to make this. It's hard to make the argument that Order of Ecclesia is better than Bloodlines.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I feel like it might be to me, but I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it personally. I can't put it up there. I feel like Symphony's better than Ecclesia.
Okay, so
like
here,
that's where I like. I guess they would put it below Bloodlines, but Symphony's really good.
Symphony's incredible.
Is this where we have to push 3 down? No.
Yes.
Is this where
This
we have
is
to
it.
move Rondo down?
This is the fucking stance. No, we're not moving Rondo down yet.
Okay.
Not yet, motherfucker. Not yet. But we are totally putting this shit right here. Because Symphony of the Night's a better game than Castlevania 3. Here's my argument. All those people in Castlevania 3 are fucking dead zombies you kill in Symphony of the Night. There you go.
They were fakes, Dan. Fakes, nothing
Sure.
else.
Okay, so here's where shit gets weird.
Uh-huh.
Saturn's bad enough where I don't think it should go right next to Symphony PS1 because of that pixel scaling thing and all the egregious slowdown and the lack of true transparencies, which is not 100% the devs' fault. Everyone, please stop. It's not everyone. Stop fucking saying the Saturn can do transparencies because no, it can't. People can engineer very clever ways to make it do an effect that's like a transparency, but that's not the same as hardware support for transparencies, a thing I would like to remind everyone the fucking SNES could do. The Super Nintendo could do that shit
I mean,
4 years earlier.
You played Chrono Trigger, right? Look. It's there.
Bob's like, you play Chrono Trigger, right? Okay, well, what if I told you? No, Bob, please, you're becoming a meme.
Yeah, Saturn has so many problems.
It does.
I really love that Maria mode. That Maria mode's insane. It's great. She has a spirit gun.
Is it good enough to be better than Harmony of Dissonance?
I don't know. I don't think so. Because it runs so bad. Like, Harmony runs way better.
Yeah.
Easily.
Most of these run better. In fact, I wouldn't even put. I feel like I'd put all of this above Saturn.
Even 4.
Just that Saturn runs so bad.
It does run so bad.
It runs so bad.
The problems it has are indefensible. There's just a version that is better in every way, except it's missing a couple little things.
Also, the controller layout's weird. I feel like having a 6-button controller with 2 shoulders for.
I could get used to it, but yeah, it's not ideal.
It's not ideal. The running boots are interesting.
They're not worth it, though.
No, absolutely not.
You don't get them until you beat the whole first half of the game and you unlock the reverse castle.
The extra areas are interesting.
Yes, definitely. I want to explore them more. I did it way back a long time ago.
Yeah.
But,
So yeah, for me, I would put Super Castlevania 4 above Saturn. Because Saturn has a lot of slowdown. It's got a lot of things working against it.
I guess I'm okay with that, just because it's so busted.
Yeah,
Like, that's the problem with Saturn version.
it's not great. So we'll put it there. Maybe we'll change that. How do we feel about this PS4 Requiem version of the PSP game? Like, it's got the new dub.
The new dub's not that good.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not the melodrama. Like, you see the game Bloodstained,
Yeah.
right? You hear the melodrama in the way they deliver their lines.
Mm-hmm.
He clearly
David
wants that.
Hayter's
He
there.
clearly wants that.
Yeah.
He wants that in his games.
Uh,
Man, that fucking trailer for Zangetsu.
ah,
If we're going to do this, we're going to solve it one way. And then he unsheathes his sword, and I'm like, This is funny that I'm like this for some other guy doing that voice when I clearly could do that voice. That's kind of weird, but fucking Bloodstained. Now I'm smiling like an idiot.
Maria's there, but she's worse than her other version. She's worse than Saturn really by a whole, like very huge grades. Like, it's swaths lower.
Okay, so it's worse than Saturn despite the fact the entire rest of the game runs fine.
Maria is
Okay.
worse than Saturn.
Leagues
Leagues.
worse than Saturn.
Yes, but Maria herself.
She doesn't have a spirit gun.
She doesn't have a spirit gun.
She's not insanely overpowered, which was what Bob wants.
Yes, that's what you want in your crazy mage character. She could do flying jump kicks and bounce off dudes.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. So maybe maybe it goes right above Ecclesia. That's kind of where I'm feeling. Because I feel like the plot is still way better than Ecclesia's. Even if the acting's
The plot
not as
is
fun.
better. None of the lines hit me like they do in the original dub.
Right.
Plus, it was a portable version of it. Like, the PSP version was portable, and that was really great, even if you could get the PS1 version portably. It's just... I don't know. It's complicated.
It is complicated.
I'd put it below Ecclesia in my list. Just because the Maria, though impressive and neat, is not quite as cool as she is in Saturn, so you wouldn't recommend it for that reason.
Right. There aren't new areas or anything like
there
Saturn.
aren't new areas like Saturn, so you wouldn't recommend it for that reason. The dub isn't the classic dub, so it's not the one people are familiar with. A thing that people shit-talking people who want the original dub for Ava may not understand.
Yeah. No.
It's classic. Like, fucking, that's the thing people experienced. Like, imagine somebody went out and shot-for-shot remade Citizen Kane in, like, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Would you really recommend that over the fucking original if you were trying to explain to someone the fucking importance of that movie?
If you're a psychopath, maybe.
If you're someone who's completely lost sense of the goal over... like, what is definably objectively better.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think the dub is objectively better, per se. I think the audio quality is objectively better, but...
Definitely, because it's really rough in the original, but that's not what we're talking about.
It is unreal. Like, Bob, we own a TurboGrafx CD.
Uh-huh.
You agree that all the audio you've heard come out of games on that sounds unbelievably better than the PS1 version of Symphony of the Night, and that makes no sense.
Right?
That came out 6 years earlier.
Wow, yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, 6 years is a fucking long time.
Especially in those days.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's hard to... It's just that it's still like a more solid game, I feel, than Ecclesia, but...
I feel like its layout and stuff is maybe not quite as enjoyable. I still think the staircase is just annoying. I think the fact that there's such a huge gap between save points there.
It can be frustrating, for sure.
I think there's a lot of neat stuff in Symphony. I just don't know that I would recommend this version for it. Now, obviously, the PS1 version is going to cost more. And we're not doing an opportunity cost thing here. Like,
right. I mean, if not,
you can get this now. You can get it on PS4. I recommend it for that reason. That's it.
If you have a Vita or a PS3, you can get regular, though.
Yeah, you can get the regular. Or a PSP.
Yeah, PSP
PS3, PSP, PS Vita, you can fucking get the original game. Or if you have a PSIO, you can download the ROM of the original game. Or if you have money and want to spend a little bit extra, you can get the disc of the original game. And that's really what I would recommend at the end of the day.
Yeah, no,
I'd recommend that over this. And
I guess that's really what this one's losing points for. It's just like the other version's just better.
And that's the thing, like, it's better than Saturn. No one's saying it's worse. Mm-hmm. Like, it's better than Saturn because it gives you the additive value of a whole new translation and dub. It's giving you a well-performing version of a Maria mode.
Oh, listen, the newer stuff in Saturn's so much more exciting, though.
Absolutely.
Like, new areas, new character that plays very different.
Okay, you're right. Okay. And all new music.
Oh, yeah, new music. Like, there's new tracks for each of those characters.
So are we making the argument right now that the Japanese Saturn version is more valuable? Like, not just from obviously a cost angle, but from an experiential thing and what it adds to the series, then... I mean, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
I'd say so. I feel like that.
Okay, so what we're talking about then is moving all of this up one to move this right in here.
Yeah, sure.
So that's funny. Those two ended up right next to each other. We thought they would all be next to each other, but this one's just way better.
Yeah.
If it weren't for the map layout thing, I would be hard making the argument that dissonance should go higher, but...
Right, like I would agree with you.
Because the core combat system, the core movement system, the magic system, everything. It's so much fun.
It's all, yeah, it's a really fun game. I like, just think about, like, I want to go play more.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Our setup looks incredible. Getting to play that game on a SNES controller, you know, I had to play it on a fucking Game Boy Advance and an SP. The shoulder buttons break real fast.
Yeah.
Plus, we have a 8-bit receiver. We could be using a PS4 controller.
It'd be pretty good, too.
It'd be pretty nice. A little bit of input lag, but it'd be pretty nice.
All right, Dan.
Well, this looks like a great list.
Dan, I'm sorry. We have to do place the two. The two kings.
Oh, no! What about we call it number 1-1 and number 1-2 and be done with it? We just put them horizontally at the top. And...
The people would be like, you cop out.
You fucking cowards.
I will...
Bob, real
do...
quick.
Uh-huh.
Is Rondo of Blood really better than Symphony of the Night?
I don't know.
Because, of course, Symphony is better than Castlevania 3.
Right. Dan.
Yeah?
Let's just say it is.
That Rondo's better than Symphony of the Night.
Oh, maybe it's not. Symphony's so interesting. Rondo's like the top of the Classicvanias.
It really is.
Like, easy to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Symphony's just something new and interesting, so it's hard. It's so hard to say one's better than the other. The production values on Rondo are cooler for the anime cutscenes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If it had that a really keynote dub like Symphony does, it would help it.
Right. I feel like because we have all these other GigaBoots, that I always recommend Rondo a little bit higher than Symphony. Because Symphony, in a way, suffers compared to Aria Sara and Portrait of Ruin.
The layout's just not as good.
It's not as good. The systems aren't as polished.
Right, like familiars are just kind of there.
Yeah.
Not great. You have that great scene with the demon one, but that's...
The imp pushing the button.
Yeah, the devil.
If he's leveled high enough.
Oh, button. I think I will press it.
I think I will press it.
Yeah, some intern energy there.
Okay, Rondo's better than Symphony. Man, that was a moment.
Yeah, right? Let's just...
This is the hardest one of these lists I could ever be asked to make, just to be fucking clear.
Right.
Once we got, okay, Lament of Innocence is right here, I just had to go. You know, I'm thinking Super Bomberman R should probably just be above Rondo.
Has it worked its way up the list again? No, Dan, we can't have it.
No, Dan, stop it before it kills again.
I would say, I think we're both like, yeah, no, these are the two best. These are the two that go above Rondo, right?
There's so much to consider.
I know. What's up, Dan?
There's so much to consider.
I feel like Portrait's got some really great dynamics between the two characters. They do some really neat stuff where you have to switch between them during boss fights and during level or areas. You have two different setups, so the magic attacks
with dual crushes.
With the dual crushes, but I was gonna say like the magic attacks are useful with Charlotte.
Yeah.
You like switch to her to do them, and then you switch back, or you can have her do them while you're walking around.
Yeah, it's a great system.
It's a really neat idea. And either of them are totally playable.
Portrait of Ruin makes you replay entire levels twice over with mildly different aesthetics in very large environments, so it kind of gets old. Nation of Fools.
Nation of Fools is
terrible. There is no area in Aria of Sorrow that bad. And that includes Chaos, you know.
Chaos is like a weird mess, but it's very short.
But it's artistically interesting.
Right.
And it is short. It is less than a single one of those Nation of Fools.
Yes.
Aria is a shorter game than Symphony or Portrait. It has a Julius mode, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool sell, actually. You know, you get the different sub-weapons, you can switch between them with R, and then use them. So you get the Holy Cross, you get an actual cross ring, you get the axe, you get everything. So it's fun to go through, and each time you grab an orb, your stats do go up. It's like a Richter mode, but in a way kind of cooler.
Yeah, I think it's better than the Richter mode in, say, Symphony.
Right. And I would also say in Portrait, but that's based on they had ideas with Julius that evolved him instead of just let's place these older characters into this game.
Yeah, no.
Where his backdash, instead of being a backdash like with Soma, you teleport behind them, doing a drifting phasing technique.
Oh yeah, you have like this not Shingoku.
It's kind of like that though. It's the phasing thing you do. As,
right, it's the Kumu move for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're probably right. It's probably more interesting than because
it's more.
It's just throwing in those old characters for a Portrait.
Yeah. And the Sisters mode is interesting.
It's funny.
It is funny and it is interesting, but the part where it works in the canon and you go, "Oh God, is that really how that went? That's embarrassing." It's kind of bad.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
It's been a while, but I remember seeing it.
Basically, they make their way all the way to Bronner, and then they get possessed by him or whatever.
Right.
And then that's the end.
They
It
just
ends
get owned.
abruptly, and then it's like, oh yeah, and then the game happens sometime later. It's like, holy fuck, dude. I think the story of Aria of Sorrow is much stronger than Portrait.
Yeah, I mean, Portrait's strength and story-wise is really just from the era that it takes place in.
Yes,
Like-
the idea of being a sequel to Bloodlines and what it develops as lore.
Yes.
Yeah.
And being set during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a really neat aesthetic around that,
Yes.
which I appreciate a lot.
Castlevania Aria of Sorrow is the only game to still take place in what we could still refer to as the future.
Yes. That's also really neat.
It's
like,
really interesting because you get to catch up with what Alucard has become, given his immortality. It's interesting because it takes place in a post-Dracula world, which is really interesting.
Dracula has changed.
Dracula has changed. War changed us in the base.
I'm willing. I guess I'm willing to go with Aria can beat Portrait out by a little bit, just because it's so interesting. I feel like the gameplay in Portrait is better, but Aria is probably a better put together game.
It's sheer coincidence that Julius's theme is playing right now, but it's the Haunted Castle cover. I don't even know if that's going to sync up with what they're hearing yet.
Right.
Yeah, I think there is a lot more dynamism with the with Portrait. You know, it's a lot more dynamic.
Yeah.
In that you have a lot of customizability, as you were saying, with the magic powers and the weapons that Julius gets to use. Sorry, Jonathan gets to use.
Yes.
And dual crushes, and the fact you can set 2 of those, 1 per character. I feel like there's no moment in Portrait where you feel like this is the fucking weapon, I made it. Like the Claim Slayers.
I mean, there's the whip.
The Vampire Killer's neat.
Yeah.
But it's not powerful enough for you to feel like fucking yes. Also, you don't earn it. Like, it doesn't take as much to get that as it does with the Claim Slice. Claim Slice is like, get these souls, go to this place, do this thing, find the secret area in that place.
Yeah.
And now you can get the Claim Slice.
It's a lot more of a secret thing of Aria, whereas Portrait, it's a part of the story, but it's an insanely awesome part of the story.
True.
Like, all of us squealed when it was Richter inside the whip.
Yeah, no,
you
that
had
was
the fight. It's insane.
That was really good. And the fact it's just called the memory of the memory of the whip. The whip's memory is so good. And the fact he's just not even looking at you and he's in shadow at first, and then he just whips your fucking ass, and then you cream pie him to death. This is so hard.
It's insanely cool.
I think the soundtrack of Aria of Sorrow is cruelly trapped by the Game Boy Advance sound chip, but composition-wise is unbelievably better than Portrait of Ruin.
I'd probably sign up for
Like,
that.
how many Portrait of Ruin songs that aren't from Bloodlines?
That's cheating, Dan.
How is that cheating?
Aria is probably all the good music, I'm sure, from other Castlevanias.
No, it's just Julius's theme.
Okay. Julius' theme is really good, though.
It is. But you know what's also good? The Clock Tower theme, really incredible. You know what's also good? The opening area theme, really great. Literally, it's like every area in that game I love the song of. Whereas Portrait, I mean, we did that live stream not even a week ago.
Uh-huh.
And I could tell you the opening theme was good.
Is that it? I'm always bad at...
I know all the songs. Egypt's pretty all right. But really, the next amazing song is from Bloodlines.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the really good stuff was Bloodlines.
Yeah, it's like two. I think it's like 2, maybe 3 songs are from Bloodlines. But it's like every fucking song in Aria of Sorrow is dripping with tone and has amazing, super memorable melodies. And it's not for a lack of playing it. Like Portrait, once again, we played that fucking all the way through less than a week ago.
Right.
Aria of Sorrow, I can't even tell you the last time I beat it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you, every song in that game is really great. The one song that doesn't have a super strong melody, if there were 2, it's the Chaos theme for the environment, which is, you know, to the point of it's thematically appropriate.
Right.
That's the point of it. And then Fighting Chaos itself is a really good theme. But then, like, it has a sort of discordance or dissonance to it. You know, so it's not as, like, amazing as a Clock Tower. That Clock Tower theme in fucking Aria of Sorrow is one of the best songs of the whole series.
I need to hear it again. It's been a very long time.
If you want, I can pull it up. I'll do it. Here, do we have audio outputting? Oh, God. One moment. Do we have audio outputting?
I think so.
Okay, cool. Let me just YouTube Aria of Sorrow Clock Tower. I think I used it as the intro song. Hopefully this isn't insanely loud.
Okay, that one.
Yeah, and then it gets into the... Like, it does the moody intro, and then...
Yeah, it's really good.
And then it gets into a crazy guitar riff. Yeah, no, it's really good.
I'm always terrible at remembering the tracks
Music.
for all these songs, all these games. Honestly, just like placing which ones and which. It's like, I remember playing through Portrait. Like, thinking the songs were always good. Like, there was never a point. There is not a single point that was like freaking Legends. Where you're like, no.
Right.
failed.
Each song's good. I just think it's an amazing accomplishment with Aria of Sorrow that all the songs are basically original.
Mm-hmm.
Except for
Julius.
And the very ending theme, which it's not that it's not original, it's that it, and this is the true ending, by the way. It's that it takes a few notes from a classic Castlevania song to play as the ditty at the beginning, and then it goes into an original song.
Okay.
And it's as your soul is leaving chaos, as you destroy chaos in the castle itself, where you're floating in space and you hear a message from all your friends who love you. That very cool thing that Aria of Sorrow's plot ends with, and it's a really great game, and it's better than Portrait.
that really cool thing that's, God, it's from every anime movie.
Hey, man! It's not from the Case Closed movies I own. Here, I'm just doing this, and we're going to look at that. We're going to move these up. Okay.
Okay.
And we're going to give this a stern looking at. See if it's the list. Okay?
Yeah.
And once again, like as Bob and I said before, we spent forever talking about. Also, I'm gonna fix this real quick. There. Okay. Aria of Sorrow and Portrait of Ruin are both amazing games, and it's hard to rank them because they're both strong at different things. And I feel like that's the beauty of a lot of the GigaBoots games. They are really incredible, and they have mild deficits in certain ways. Like Order of Ecclesia's got the best animation, but it doesn't necessarily have the best combat system.
Yeah, like I rank it as the lowest combat system-wise, but
Right.
then it edges out Harmony of Despair because
Or Dissonance.
because
That
game's kind of a mess.
Yeah. Like if that game just had a mildly larger castle that was just one castle,
Uh-huh.
I would definitely rank it higher.
Right. That's yeah. And I don't even
Aria of Sorrow is the Order of Ecclesia animation-wise and graphics-wise for the Game Boy Advance.
it is. Like it's insane what they pull off in that game.
Portrait of Ruin, though it looks good, never did anything that made me go, this looks amazing compared to Dawn of Sorrow.
I mean, other than
Like, I think it
like,
just
can
has
the
better
char-
character design.
Right, the characters just look good.
Yeah.
Whereas no character looked good in Dawn ever.
And when he's right, he's right. So, okay, we're gonna go from top to bottom.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go. Number 1, Aria of Sorrow. Number 2, Portrait of Ruin. Number 3, Rondo of Blood. 4, Symphony of the Night, PS1. 5, Castlevania 3, FAM. 6, Bloodlines. 7, Order of Ecclesia. 8, Harmony of Dissonance. 9, Super Castlevania 4. 10, Symphony of the Night, Saturn. And then Symphony of the Night, PSP at 11. 12, Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Castlevania The Adventure 2, Belmont's Revenge. Chronicles for the PS1 at 13. So who knows where the X68K original would place.
Right, who knows?
Curse of Darkness at 14. Dawn of Sorrow below Curse of Darkness, contentious placing right here.
It is. It's
But I still think it's right.
I think it's right. My gut says that's still good.
Okay. Circle of the Moon below Dawn of Sorrow, which I get it.
I'm still go that way for sure. Like
I get it. I would probably put it above it, but I get it. I get it. Bloodstained Curse of the Moon below Circle of the Moon, you're damn right. Getsu Fumaden below Curse of the Moon. Probably just because of the lack of polish in the maze area.
Right, yeah.
And a general lack of structure.
Structure and polish, yeah.
Dracula X Chronicles below that. Castlevania 1 below that. This is going to be contentious.
Yeah.
Absolutely. People are going to get upset. But I think this offered... Don't say that. I feel like Dracula X Chronicles... Shit. Dracula X Chronicles never crashed on me.
I guess there's that.
But yeah, I think music-wise and everything, it just benefits from being a version of Rondo Blood, and it's really adding to the tapestry of the whole franchise with its 3D graphics and reimagining of a lot of it.
Whereas Castlevania 1, I feel like you can get just
You
a
can
better
play
version of that.
Castlevania
Yeah,
3.
Castlevania 3, and just get a better version of that experience.
Basically. Especially if it's Akamajo Densetsu.
Simon Belmont, Super Bomberman 3. R.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Kid Dracula on NES, not as polished as Super Bomberman R.
No, not at all, no.
This has way more cute moments and an unbelievable cast of characters that have been added since launch. Lament of Innocence, we're sorry.
Where is that
We're
post-launch
sorry.
content, Kid Dracula? Where is it?
Where is it? Jesus Christ, you guys haven't updated that game in like 30 years.
Yeah, Lament of Innocence. It deserves better, but also it doesn't.
But
I'm
also,
sorry.
it should earn better. Is the problem. Michiru really knocked it out of the park with that soundtrack, and then
She
the rest
dug
of that
that
did
thing
not.
up from being below the 64 games.
Yes. Yes, she did. God, could you imagine if that game had a bad soundtrack? It might be like one of the lowest ranked on this list.
Yeah.
If you just had to listen to garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Konami YY World 1, because of its ambition and non-linear structure. Konami YY World 2, because it's still a really solid platformer, so that makes it better than Kid Dracula. Legacy of Darkness. Youch. Below both the YY World games, and yet it makes sense.
Yeah.
Remember, these rankings are based on averaged amounts of frames over the videos. We got way more frames out of these, even though we didn't. Yeah. Kid Dracula on Game Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
If anything.
We're just like, it's rough.
If anything.
You think it was too much?
Nah.
Okay.
64 is too rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say 64 is real rough.
It's really rough. Dracula X. Fuck that game. The Harmony of Despair. Fuck that game. Judgment. Fuck that game. Castlevania Adventure Rebirth. Fuck that game. Castlevania 2. Fuck that game. Legends. Fuck that game. DreamX TV World Fighters. Come on, what were you thinking? Fuck that game. Castlevania The Adventure, come on, fuck that game. Haunted Castle, that game fucked me. And Ultimania's X, you'll get arrested if you fuck that game. This list seems solid to me.
Yeah, I think
from top to bottom, I think we did it. Once again, number 1 and 2, probably the hardest.
Yeah.
But I do believe they're both better than Rondo.
Yeah, I'm willing to sign up for that. They're definitely both better than Symphony.
Oh, yeah. Symphony just wins out on the scale. You know?
Yeah.
Like the scale of the project, the amount of graphics and stuff like that. Unique environments. Whereas Portrait recycles.
It does.
Yeah.
Like
and Aria's just a short game compared to the other two. But yeah, this is it. We did it.
Oh, congratulations, everyone.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to us. We survived Castlemania. The list is done. This is apparently our opinion. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and regret everything.
Beautiful.
No, this is basically every sentence I've ever said about Castlevania should be mostly represented in this list.
I think that's right.
Yeah. I can't remember ever saying a sentence like Dracula X Chronicles is better than Belmont's Revenge. No, I wouldn't do that. But thank you all for sticking around for us. Thank you if you donated during this premiere. It really means a lot, and we love doing these. I'm gonna go enjoy my birthday off and take a week off from the channel, mostly-ish. And we'll see you guys for E3.
This GigaBoots video was brought to you by Vincent Povert and other excellent guys. Like Nicholas Cameron, he's also a cool dude. But he's not alone, no. He's got backup from other guys like Ely Broyles. He's a great guy too. And Star Falcon, who's half cool dude, but he's also half bird. Their generosity is matched by Brendan O'Sullivan and Spaceman Smith, who I once kidnapped. Don't ask. Thank you, Dryzart. Thank you, Shadow in the Darkness. And thank you, tiny scribbles on the screen that I can't read because they're half transparent.